Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Yeah. It's good to see you all. Can we get some comments in chat? We got my dad, we got my uncle, we got Amanda. Who else we got? We got Ron Roach on the drums. Give it up for Ron Roach. We got Coby on the keys. Give it up for Coby. We got Cruncher. Everyone's favorite. Everyone loves Cruncher. Give it up for that guy. And then it's just me. All right, just me. I'm the only one left. How's everyone doing today? Let's get some feedback in chat for the status of your Sundays. We got a lot of people. Excellent. It's good to see everyone today. We've got a very exciting show for you. We got some very exciting new content on the entertainment blog. We're finally going to be talking about the much-awaited Juice WRLD posthumous release, and we will have a special guest with us later in the show. Sagar Ramesh is here, or his alter ego Teddy Toast will be here to talk about live animation. It's pretty exciting out. We got shout out Aunt Dawn, she's watching too. Shout out everyone who's watching right now. We got a very active chat today, so we'd love to see that. All right, we're going to start out with Coby's entertainment blog. So this is the link for Coby's entertainment blog, and we are going to start by talking about Palm Springs. So I don't know how many of you have seen Palm Springs, but it's a movie that just came out a few, just like, I think super recently. It's on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, which I think most people should have Hulu. So if you have that, this is a movie you can watch. It's been super successful on Hulu. It's basically Groundhog Day with a scientific explanation and multiple characters who are a part of the endless day. I would describe the film as an existential romantic comedy, which calls into question whether or not we can, still enjoy lives even if they're meaningless. And once again, much like in Groundhog Day, the answer is probably not. Really interesting film. If you haven't seen it, Coby's Brain does recommend it. We gave it an 8.1. So it was great to see Andy Samberg in a movie. I haven't seen him in a while. We got J.K. Simmons in it. It's a very interesting movie. No complaints about that movie, other than it's Groundhog Day, more or less, with a lot of other extra added features, but for the most part, it's Groundhog Day. We're getting a comment from our producer. Oh, good. Okay. So, anyways, never mind. Nothing concerning. We are now going to talk about the next thing on Coby's entertainment blog, which is the continuation of Coby's viewing of the original Star Wars trilogy. So, let's get started. He recently watched Return of the Jedi, number 6, the third Star Wars film created, the conclusion of the original Star Wars trilogy, 1983, directed by Richard Marquand. Interestingly, I read that George Lucas actually, contacted, Spielberg and even David Lynch and Ron Howard about directing this movie, but didn't end up happening. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 1983, Richard Marquand. the final film of the original Star Wars trilogy, where the Empire is building a new Death Star with the energy from the forest moon of Endor. So it's good to see the redemption of Darth Vader, death of the Emperor. Sorry for the spoilers. The rebellion is ultimately victorious with the help of the Ewoks. Shout out Ewoks. And basically it wraps up the original trilogy in an incredible way. Obviously somewhat less iconic than the original 2 films, but really wraps up those original 2 films well. Can't say enough good things about this film. Gotta love the Ewoks. Every single Star Wars movie, the build up of the world just gets better and better. So we gave Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, a 8.7 out of 10. So that's a great review. I think the original Star Wars trilogy is one of the highest rated, sagas in on Coby's Entertainment blog. So congrats to George Lucas. Yeah. All right. Next up, we're going to be talking about the first episode in the prequel trilogy for Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, which was made in 1999, directed by George Lucas. It's the first of the prequel trilogy. The prequels get a lot of hate because, it's hard to compete with the original trilogy. But I honestly think the prequels stand up pretty well. And most importantly, they continue to build up the world of, the galaxy far, far away, which is super exciting. So that's great. The Darth Maul lightsaber battle with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon is super epic, and the use of CGI is revolutionary. I personally love this movie. I gave it an 8.3. So obviously, not even close to being on the same level as the original trilogy, but definitely still close, still worthy of the reverence that Star Wars fans have given it. Okay. Next up, as I'm sure viewers of Coby's Brain know. Oh, sorry. Matty Ice just asked the following question. Shout out Matty Ice. What's good? What is the sum product of all Star Wars films? So I actually was recently reviewing. Let me go back here. I was recently reviewing all of the. So long story short. Prequels not as highly rated as the original films. The 3 most recent Star Wars films, episodes 7, 8, and 9. The 9 not highly rated by me, but 7 and 8 were great, phenomenal films, and Rogue One was amazing. So keep an eye out for more Star Wars ratings coming very soon. And yep. All right. Next up, we have How I Met Your Mother Season 7. I love this show. It's a great show. Season 7, still a pretty funny show, but at this point in the series, I kind of just want to know what's going to happen. So this season really focuses on the future of Robin and Barney. The ending is great, but it took a little while to get there. I just want to know what's going to happen. So still gave this, love the show, still gave it a great rating, 7.8. But, let's get there. Let's figure out what happens with Ted. I just want to know at this point. All right. Next up, we are going to transition to Coby's music blog, where we talk about the latest and greatest in music, most notably hip-hop. So, to get started, we're going to be talking, this is the only thing we're talking about today, the long-anticipated review of Juice WRLD's first posthumous album, Legends Never Die, released in July 2020. I thought this album was absolutely incredible. Banger after banger. amazing album from one of the most influential artists in hip-hop in a while, and possibly one of the greatest freestylers of all time. I found it pretty fascinating in this album. He talks a lot about his impending death, which is pretty crazy, and the problems that he struggles with his. He has a lot of. He talks a lot about mental health struggles that he has and addiction, specifically to prescription opioids, which unfortunately ended up taking his life. But he was clearly aware of this. He raps a lot about this. So many examples in this album of Juice WRLD talking about how he's super just like aware of his upcoming death. One line in a song called "Can't Die," which is a banger. It says, "Open the doors and let me in. I'm looking for answers." So, Juice WRLD's dying, tragic, completely tragic. But we're hoping he has found those answers beyond this life. Juice WRLD left an incredible legacy of being, one of the best freestylers and a major player in the emo rap world, which unfortunately has been plagued by deaths due to the, I guess, use of opioids in the culture. But more importantly, what his legacy and that of other rappers who have unfortunately passed away is just about the importance of vulnerability and expressing yourself. And I think that that's something that the world and youth will take away from someone like Juice WRLD. And it's true, legends never die. This album certainly will not. Within me, we gave it a 9.1. That's the best review of an album that we've given in a while, because this album is totally fire. So many bangers. I'm going to be listening to this album for a while. All right. Next up, Coby's reading blog. So Coby's reading blog talks about all of the latest topics, which are books that Coby's read. Most notably, recently, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which is a play. It's written by J.K. Rowling, Jack Thorne, and John Tiffany. It's basically a sequel to the Harry Potter books. And it's pretty good. It's fine. An interesting continuation of the Harry Potter books. Harry and Draco's kids going on an adventure together to prevent the return of Voldemort. Pretty much about love that parents have for children, and how that's hard to understand. And I don't know. It's fun. It's good. If you have read all the Harry Potter books, you might as well just read this one. It's short. Takes like a couple hours to read, and it's like pretty good. It's not going to change your life. We gave it a 7.4, which means you could go with or without it. 7.5 is the cutoff for a recommendation. I do not necessarily recommend this book, but if you're a Harry Potter fan, check it out. It's like you get to learn about Harry as a father. It's crazy. Super interesting. All right. Next up, Coby's Thought Blog. So here's the link to Coby's Thought Blog. It's a pretty exciting source where we talk about all of the latest and greatest things that Coby has thought about. And today, we are going to be talking about something very near and dear to my heart, live animation, with our first ever guest on Coby's Brain, Sauger. So, Sauger will be coming on this show in just a second. And while we wait for him, we're going to get a little performance from our good friend, Ron Roach. Oh.
Yo.
Oh, we got Sauger. Sauger's in.
We're in.
Sauger's here. All right. Give it up for Sauger.
How's it going, man?
It's going well, Sauger. So, for many people don't know you as your alter ego, Teddy's Toast. But
that's right. Yeah. So,
tell us a little bit about yourself, Teddy's Toast / Sauger.
So Teddy Toast came on the show a couple episodes ago. We wanted to get a guest on the show, and honestly, this has been a dream. I've had my heroes on the show, and honestly, I only have one hero, and that's Coby's brain. So it happened.
Yes, we love to hear that here at Coby's Brain. So thank you for coming on our show today, Teddy Toast. We could not be more happy to have you than we are. All right, so me and Ted are here to talk a little bit about live animation. And as is evidenced by the numerous issues that we just faced, it's pretty novel, the world of live animation. So Teddy's Toast, if you want to get us started, can you tell us what is live animation and why is it novel?
Yeah, so I mean, if we just start with the basics, right now, the way that animated movies are made, or the way that animated shows are made, is that voiceovers like this happen after people have actually recorded the show. So you and I would get in a room, we would record our voice tracks, and then an animator would spend hours actually animating on top to make sure the lips actually sync. So the cool thing about live animation is that it's all happening in real time, right? Actually able to have this conversation, our characters are able to talk, and it makes the whole thing faster, it makes the process cheaper, and actually lowers the barrier to entry for new animators who are just trying to do more experimental things in the space.
Yeah, I think that was a great little intro. So Teddy's Toast, how do people go about accomplishing live animation?
Yeah, there are a couple different ways that people are doing it today. Actually, on your slides right now, you've got a picture from a studio called Kite and Lightning, and they use an engine they use Unreal Engine. It's the same engine that is used to build Fortnite, a bunch of other games. And they basically pipe in an iPhone, a motion capture suit to basically create these virtual humans that look really great, that are rendered really well. And that's kind of how they do live animation. There are other instances where people are using engines like Unity to sort of build what you could call a multiplayer game.
Shout out Unity.
Shout out Unity.
This is how this was done, was Unity.
That's right. But instead of being a game, you can actually build out almost like a live studio, or like a set where you can have characters placed, you can have characters talking, and that's kind of what's going on right now.
That is exactly what's going on. And there's a lot of other things you can do too, like you can move the camera around like we're doing right now. It's pretty exciting, and we're gonna have more guests hopefully that can come in because of the power of live animation. Next exactly question right. for Teddy's Toast: how could live animation change the future of the entertainment industry?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, but right now it's super expensive to make an animated show, to make an animated movie. Usually it's millions of dollars per minute. Whereas with live animation, with this more iterative approach, you can build a set of characters, you can build your sets, and you can put in the effort for doing that once and basically repeat the process for every episode you make or for the whole movie that you make. So I think, this dramatically reduces the costs of production for any kind of animation, whether that's for TV, for film, for games, whatever it may be. I think on the other end of this, animation could be way bigger than just an animated medium, or like a way that people use to make movies or TV. It could actually be, something that ends up being as ubiquitous as video right now. People don't really talk about video like that anymore because it's so easy to make, it's so easy to access. And I think animation will end up going through a similar evolution the more accessible it becomes.
Yeah, yes. I think you're totally right. And I think if any of these viewers, you have questions about live animation, either me or Teddy's Toast are happy to feel free to reach out to us, because we want to make it happen. We want live animation to come to the mainstream, to be democratized.
Yeah, this is the jam. This is where animation's going.
And final question for you, Teddy's Toast. What other implications are there for live animation?
So I think beyond just film or TV or even games, I think being able to create media really quickly just lowers the barriers to entry for people who don't have the money or the network to actually build a show on, traditional networks right now. I think a lot of gatekeepers in, old Hollywood, in the games industry that are kind of matured are, people who didn't work this way or people who didn't make movies or games or TV shows this way. So now using this kind of tech and, off the shelf software, any kid with a computer that's just powerful enough can actually start a show just like this, start streaming on something like Twitch. So it just opens up the floodgates for a lot more experimentation, a lot more creative work, and teams that don't have that many resources that can kind of bootstrap their way into animation. And that's super exciting.
Yeah. I think Teddy's Toast is totally right. This is the future, and we are excited to be a part of it. So can everyone give it up for Teddy's Toast?
Let's go.
So Teddy's Toast will probably be a regular feature of this, a regular guest on this show, but we're going to hopefully get other guests as well and make some more shows using live animation. So give it up for Teddy's Toast.
Love it. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to come back. Thank you. No, you're the rock star.
Hey, all right. Everyone, that is our show. Thank you so much. Oh, there goes Teddy. Thank you for coming. Let's see who from chat. Okay, we got Matty Ice. Shout out Matty Ice. Go Teddy. Love the toast. What is the saddest animation? Saddest animation. The animation that makes me cry the most. Inside Out. We got some great emojis from Amanda. We got Dognuts1, Yay Teddy's Toast. Who else we got in chat? Ron the Roach rules. Yeah, true. Shout out Ron the Roach. Alright, yeah. That's all we got. See you next time. And thanks again for watching Coby's Brain.